Hey guys, Jose here, and I'm with Dale still. Say hi, Dale.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And today I'm just going to show you guys some kind of the simplistics and basics of Minecraft itself and how to get MCP not necessarily set up, but how to get it working with Eclipse. So Eclipse is the tool that actually Mojang uses to modify, or not necessarily modify, but update Minecraft. And there's basically a version for every operating system, Linux, Mac, and Windows. So don't worry about compatibility. You can do this just fine. If you don't know how to set up MCP, it's pretty simple. Basically, you'll download it, and when you unzip it, it'll look kind of like this, except go back. It'll look kind of like this, except I've gone through and replaced all the .bat files with .command so that I can just double click on it. But yours will say, like for example, update mcp.bat and then update mcp.sh. If you're on Windows, ignore the SHs. If you're on a Mac, the SHs are what you need, but I can also upload all these .command files, so it will basically make it easier for you guys. All you have to do is double click this and it'll do it for you. Otherwise, you'll have to use terminal and kind of set it up. If you don't know how to do that, there's probably a plentiful amount of YouTube tutorials out there. Old tutorials or new tutorials, they all pretty much work the same, right? I mean,
Yeah,
but yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and run cleanup.command. Basically, it's the same thing as running cleanup.bash or .bat. And I'm going to type in yes. And this is going to completely delete everything I've done in the src folder. So it kind of cleans everything up. Now I'm going to run the decompile files. And what decompiling does is basically goes through, looks at all the .class files in your Minecraft.jar, figures out what they are, and then renames them into .java files. So a .java file is basically a file you can edit with text or text edit on Mac, Notepad on Windows, or you can do what we're going to do here and use Eclipse for it, or Eclipse to modify it. And that just makes it easier because you can test it from, you can actually run Minecraft from Eclipse without having to worry about anything.
which is great.
It's
Because
fantastic.
if you don't have Eclipse, you have to recompile, re-obfuscate, put those files into your Minecraft jar, and run Minecraft, and that's just a hassle. So having
Actually,
Eclipse makes it easier.
no you don't. Remember, all you have to
Well,
do
yeah,
is
you can use start
recompile and
client,
use the
right?
start client.command. So yeah, you can use start client.command with after you recompile, but it's still just easier to get Eclipse. It's free. It's kind of a big file, so if you have slow internet, go ahead and pause the video, let that download, and just kind of restart or start the video or resume the video once you finish downloading it, because we're going to be using and relying on it quite a bit.
And all the links will be in the description, of course.
Yes. So now, the first time you run Eclipse, it'll probably or it will ask you to select a workbench,
A workplace, I
work
think, right? Or work. I don't know. One of those two.
workstation. That's what it's called. And basically, it'll ask you to select one. If you don't already have one, it'll make one for you. But if you have MCP, you already have one. So direct it to your Eclipse folder and just click OK. Don't actually go into any of these folders. Just click on the Eclipse folder. Don't open the Eclipse folder. Just click on it and choose OK. And that will tell it, okay, here's where all of the configuration files for Eclipse are, which gives it a lot of useful files and whatnots. So we're going to now open Eclipse, and I can quit this from the last tutorial video. And this is what it looks like when it starts off. Basically, you have client and server. I do not have any server jars right now, so it'll have this exclamation point. I guess we can do server tutorials later, but realistically, it's exactly the same as client, except for the fact that a couple of functions, which I'll explain later, are different. But I suppose in this tutorial what I want to do, oh, and by the way, you need to go to double-click on client, go to src, then choose net.minecraft.src. I know that was kind of random, but this is where you need to locate all your Java files. But in this tutorial, I do plan on showing you guys how to modify existing files before we make new stuff. So there's just a couple of things that kind of bother me or whatnot that we'll be changing. So yeah. I can't really explain. I can't really take the time to explain all of these because there's 950 something files, so I can't take the time to explain everything. But if you're going to do mod loader mods, which we are going to do later on in this series, you'll need to have mod loader installed into your Minecraft.jar before you decompile, and then decompile it. I should have mentioned that earlier and completely forgot to.
Yeah, I was
Now,
going to say.
so, if you, just to confirm that you do have mod loader loaded with this correctly, oh, I didn't mean to do that. You can just confirm and see if there's a base mod.java file in the left sidebar. We won't need to be modifying this right now. We're just going to modify existing stuff. So basically, this is the biome gen stuff. Biome gen is like biome generation for the forest, for hell, which is nether, hills, mushroom island, etc., etc. There's one thing that I do want to show you guys how to do, or show you guys. Everyone knows since the annoying 1.0.0 update, or it's not annoying, the swamps are annoying. Everyone knows, though, that you almost always spawn in a swamp, and I'll show you where that line of code is as to why it always happens. And the swamps are always ugly. They're always an ugly color. So in order to fix this, if you want it to be just the normal color it would normally be, they actually have added these get grass color at coordinates. So basically what this does is it tells you, okay, or it can tell, oh look, this is a swamp biome, and we need to overlay this color, which is a hexadecimal color, and I don't know which, I think it's just this, and it needs to overlay it on top of the grass, the default grass biome color, which is really annoying. So, if I'm correct, I want to say that's how I did it, is all I did was literally remove these 2 lines of code. Now, with any sort of Java coding, you usually have brackets, so you have a curly bracket here and a curly bracket here. This is basically where any of your statements or anything really is going to be, right? I think it's not really a statement, but any integers, anything really. So, if you ever need to modify or delete something, always make sure you start from where it says public or anything where it's protected, public, abstract, anything like that. Drag it down to the last curly bracket before the next time it says it. It's kind of hard to remember that, and it takes a very long time, especially if you're new to coding, but just kind of try to remember that. So we're going to remove that. That only modifies the grass. So now the grass will be, or should be, a normal color. Now we still have the foliage, because that said get grass color, this says get foliage color. Foliage is leaves, obviously, but still. So we're just going to do the same here. And all Java files end with a curly bracket all the way at the end. So if you kind of count up, there's the same amount of curly brackets facing one way as there are another. So you need to make sure that it stays like that. There's 1, 2, 3 facing to where the bracket faces right, and there's 1, 2, 3 going left. So we're going to save this. There's like a save and then a save multiple. That just saves any modifications you've done to all of your files. And I'm going to run it by hitting this little play button.
Hopefully we get a swamp.
Hopefully. Not hopefully. I know how to get a swamp. There's a seed. Okay, so video settings. I'm just going to kind of modify some of these things to...
Did you get rid of swamps, or did you just change some stuff in swamps?
I changed stuff in swamps so that it's not
okay.
an ugly color like it usually is. So we're going to make a new world, create a new world, use the same seed that I used on our server. This is a seed.
Oh yeah, okay. That little tiny swamp over there?
The little tiny swamp over there that is now my farm for everything. And you can see it's building terrain. Now, if we would have gotten an error, it would have been here, because it would have told us, hey, we can't do that, because the swamp generation is messed up. You mess with something you shouldn't have. So, as you can see, we have gorgeously green swamp biomes now. Now, of course, this is kind of weird colored because it's going into a snow biome, but this swamp biome, everything, the foliage, which is vines and leaves, and the grass is a very pretty color, in my opinion. So I definitely, if you're trying to work on a mod like one of mine where it reverts things kind of back to the beta code, definitely look into something like this. So I guess next now is to mess with, what do we want to mess with? We want to mess with entities and what they drop.
Yeah, sure. We'll show them entities and what they drop.
Okay, so we'll do entity zombie. Basically, an entity is anything that moves, including mobs. XP orbs are entities, which is why I say anything that moves, because XP orbs move. So I'm going to modify two things, entity zombie and entity slime. Basically, entity zombie is self-explanatory, that's a zombie, and then slimes are slimes. There's not a couple, but there's something that's pretty specific and kind of useful to know. Here on the entity slime, it says public boolean. Now, I've never really known exactly what boolean means. Do you know? I mean,
Isn't it like a true false thing?
well,
If
it's followed by the line can spawn here. So I think
well,
it is
it
because
checks if it's true or false, and if it's true, it runs it. If it's false, then
makes sense because it says return false.
So, yeah, you can Google Boolean and it will tell you that.
Yeah, well. So basically what this says here with the can spawn here, get can spawn here, this restricts the slime spawning to only underground or not under level 16 at any light level on certain chunks. You can see here it uses math helper. Anytime it uses math helper, that basically means it's going to pick a random number using the math helper type. I don't really know that there is any other type for picking random numbers with Minecraft, but yeah. So, again, like I was explaining with the swamp biome, we're going to select from the public boolean to the last curly bracket until the next. This is going to literally make slime spawn anywhere, anytime, any brightness. So that makes it really fun. Now, we get to have fun with something else. Drop item IDs. This is going back to the entity zombie now. I'm going to make the zombies drop feathers again. Like they used to. And they should, because they're birds. So here, basically, to explain some things, this is really a good place to start with the zombies. Public class, you've got, the import and the package. Package up here, if you don't have package, it won't run it, basically because what the package line up here says is that this is a part of Minecraft, so run it with Minecraft. So make sure on any new or modified files that you make for your Minecraft file or for your Minecraft, that it starts off with package net.minecraft.src. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So you can see, starting from the top, it says import java.util.random. That's going back to the math helper thing where it's going to randomize and pick a random number for the spawning for it. So now, if we look, it says public class entity zombie, which is what we're looking at, extends, which means it extends, adds onto, entity mob. So if we come over here into the side, there is actually a entity mob.java, which kind of explains everything. Now if we look at here, it says public abstract class entity mob extends entity creature. This will basically go all the way on and on and on until it stops to where it doesn't extend anything, it is itself. So you can see, I think that stops here. Yeah, there's entity living, and then past entity living, I think that's it. So you see this kind of goes all the way to here. Oh, it extends entity. I'm just going to quit guessing because I'm probably going to mess up again.
It's just a way to connect files.
There we go. But yeah, basically it links files from one to the other to the other. So you basically
and you can use methods and
tree.
Use what's in the other code in your code for the zombie.
Exactly. So the first thing you see is we have get max health. Or actually, well, we have the extend, and then you have super, and then world. That's basically just saying, hey, it's going to be a part of the world. You have texture, and it directs you to the mob folder, and then zombie.png. If you've never actually taken a look inside your minecraft.jar file, I recommend you look there, just to kind of get acquainted with where things are located. Move speed, which is, of course, half. Half is basically half of what you normally would walk around. Not sprinting, just walking. Then attack strength is 4. Now, with any sort of health or damage or protection or hunger, everything is basically half, because you have a half of a hunger and then a full hunger, or half of a heart then a full hunger, or a full heart. You have a half of an armor and then a full armor. So keep that in mind. So attack strength equals 4. That means that when it hits you, it's going to take off 2 hearts. So any numbers you see that have attack or defend, or not defend, but protect, hunger, health, it's going to be multiplied. Or you'll need to divide it by 2. It's going to be multiplied by 2. So now it's going to hurt me by 2 hearts. So let's have fun and change it to 0 so that it doesn't hurt me at all. It's just a dumb zombie. Now you have get max health. This is going to be looking at the zombie's max health, which again, it says 20, if you remember what I just said. That means it has 10 hearts of health, like the player does. Let's change that. Again, have fun to 0.5. That means when I punch it with my... Oh wait, 0.5 doesn't work. Oh. That's right. Is it 0.5? No.
It's because there's an int and there's a double. Doubles have decimals and ints are just whole numbers. So
that's right.
When you try to put a decimal in, it's going to have an error because it wants an int.
Oh no, you know why I have an error is because it's 0.5 and then you have to divide it by 2, which is too small.
Well, you can't put 0.5 in a double. That's a double number.
True. Sorry about that, guys. I just got an email, which is why my phone is making annoying sounds. So now it's 1. So when you look at it 1, that means it's going to be 0.5. When you punch something like an entity, it actually your fist has a damage of 1. Or no, it has a damage of 0.5 basically hearts. So it has a damage of 1. So this means I can 1 punch him now. I don't exactly know what this get total armor value is. Do you?
Total armor value. It doesn't make sense, but...
Yeah, because zombies don't wear armor. Still. So then all of this public void unliving update is basically explaining part of its spawning and part of the how often it makes these sounds that I'm about to show you. Basically, you got your get living sounds, which will randomize using the stuff that's saying up here. Randomize this sound. Now it says mob.zombie. That probably makes absolutely 0 sense, and I will explain to you how that works. All of the sounds, whenever you're relating to sounds, the kind of home folder, like where any sound starts off with, if you don't tell it otherwise, is going to be in your Minecraft folder, then resources, then new sound. So this is kind of like the base folder, the starting folder. So when it says mob, this means it's going to go to the mob folder. And then it says zombie. Now, if we look down here, there's no zombie file. There's zombie 1, zombie 2, and zombie 3. What this means is when you say just zombie, it knows to randomize between zombie 1, zombie 2, and zombie 3. Now, keep in mind, if you ever want to modify any of these files, you're going to have a really hard time, or it's not going to work unless you load a world. Basically, what happens is when you load a world, immediately or while it's doing it, it will completely delete your resources folder and start over and download a new one because all these files are so small, it can do it without you noticing. So, unless you load the world and if you just go to like the pause menu while the world is loaded, replace the files, you're not going to be able to modify these files without using mod loader and audio mod. Now the mod loader is only there because audio mod requires it. So that's what it does there. Get string or protected string get hurt sound is saying the hurt sound is zombie hurt, and it's zombie hurt 1 or 2. It's randomized. And then get death sound is zombie death, which is here. Now there's protected int get drop item ID, and squiggly bracket or curly bracket return item.rottenflesh.shifted index. To kind of elaborate on this some more, if it says item dot, that means it's going to be located in the item.java file. So we're going to take a look at it real quick. Oops. So you see here, item.java has a list of all the items here. Dale, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
Oh, it did like a sound for just a second. Because it sounded like you dropped your mic or something.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just sitting here watching.
Okay. Yeah, we're sharing screen, so he's able to watch. So, basically, this has a list of all your items, all the items in the game. So if you ever need to look for one, you can look here for the items. If you're looking for a block, just go to block.java, which if you go all the way towards the bottom, you have here. We can modify stuff in here, but I'm going to save that for... Actually, I'll explain that later. So basically, because we're saying item, this is going to go to the item file, not slime file. Let me save all this and close that though. It's going to go to the item file, and then it's going to specifically look for the word feather. And it's going to say, oh, so this is what I need. I cannot find feathers for the life of me. I guess we'll just search it.
And you can use any of those.
Yeah, you can use any of these. We can make it drop. We can make it drop chainmail leggings if we wanted it to. You can use any of these.
We should also show them the block one too, right after we do the feather.
How to make them drop blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, right now it says return item.rotten flesh. Rotten flesh, as you can see, or we'll actually show you. If we search rotten, there you go. It's spelled rotten with the second word flesh with capitalized F. Basically, the first word, or if it's a word by itself, is not capitalized, and any words after that are capitalized with the first letter. So we're going to go here, and because we want it to drop a feather, we're going to change it to say item.feather.shifted-index. Now, when it says shifted index, this means it's dropping an item. If it said block ID, that means it would be dropping a block. So we've done this. I'm going to now show you how to make them drop multiple items. So I don't actually remember exactly what the code is for some reason. So we're going to come over here and look at Entity Skeleton, because they have it. We're going to just kind of copy and paste this, but you can see it's protected void drop few items, which is saying, okay, this is going to drop more than one item. Then you got your Boolean flag, int, and then you've got your integer I. And you can see here it's just going to just drop item arrow, and drop item bone.
And what you can do right here actually is for int j and j equals rand, you can get rid of those because it's going to make it random. So like, if you play Minecraft and you kill a skeleton, it drops it randomly. So sometimes it drops it, sometimes it doesn't.
So we want it to for sure drop these things every time, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if you remove those int j lines where it says rand, it's going to work every time.
I think so. That makes sense to me. It's not giving me any errors. Now you'll see, and this is kind of redundant, but still, there's still this protected drop item ID, item arrow, or item arrow. So anytime you have this line of code here, it overrides it no matter what order. If this came after, it would still override it. So keep that in mind. We're just going to copy this over into Entity Zombie now, and I'm just going to do exactly the same as they did, and keep in my other one. So, I don't want it to drop just feathers. I want it to drop a feather, and then, to show you how the block thing works, I'm going to type in block dot. Now, the second with Eclipse, with block dot, it should tell me... Oh, it won't, actually, for some reason. Still, I can actually type it in. Now, sometimes Eclipse will actually give you a list of all the blocks. I have to know what I'm doing, or not what I'm doing, but... what I want. So I'm going to do cobblestone mossy. 1. And now you see anytime it kind of detects that this is right, it'll italicize it and change it blue. So now when we kill a zombie, it'll drop a feather and 1 mossy cobblestone every time. So if we wanted to drop more than that, we could change it from 1 to 2. Oh, and this is drop item. I think drop block, no.
I don't think it's going to work since it's saying protected void drop few items, so it's not going to.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But if you're just doing this for the get drop whatever.
No. Block.cobblestone mossy.
Block's supposed to be capitalized.
Dot. Well, yeah, I know. I'm kind of messing up on a lot of things because mossy's supposed to be capitalized too. I forgot block ID though.
That might work.
Oh, it helps if I spell mossy right again. Yeah. Wait, dot block ID. is not a field because I misspelled it.
Oh, because yeah, there you go.
So now it works, or it should.
Okay, so it works. I didn't know for sure if
Yeah,
drop item.
you're right because it's drop few items. So yeah, so you can do drop item and then a block. You're right. Interesting. I hadn't even thought about that until you brought it up. So we're gonna make this drop 2 feathers and 2 mossy cobblestones. Gonna save it and run it.
And this should work. Hopefully that random code didn't get in the way.
Didn't for
But
now.
it makes sense.
Makes sense if it does, but now when we spawn in the world, we should be instantly attacked by slimes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I certainly didn't. That's what I was preparing for, showing you guys the slimes, actually. So because slimes can spawn in any brightness after a certain level in certain chunks, but we remove that, they'll spawn during the day out anywhere, basically. Oh, yeah, there, you can see a slime. He's a biggin. So that's pretty cool. Oh, here's a little Epo. Sorry, Epo, I need your balls. So, I know where a cave is that usually contains at least one zombie that I can now one punch. Because I'm a boss. It's this one right here. Now, I come down here. Ouch. Got my sound off just for quietness. I'll probably get my butt kicked by a creeper, but I didn't just then, which was nice. Ugh, you know, I was thinking about that and I forgot that we're also going to need to eventually explain models.
Oh yeah, we'll do a is it Technique?
Yeah, Technique. Technique's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll show you one tutorial on that probably. Just how to make a model, basic model.
Yeah, sorry if
Not
this
too
is
hard.
incredibly dark for you guys. I can't really do much about it. I'm just trying to find a zombie to show you that we can now one-punch them.
Too bad we don't have single player commands to spawn one in.
Yeah, and I don't know how to actually use it, or how to have it in my, any files I've added to MCP. Like, I don't know how to use it.
I never saw this cave before.
Oh, yeah.
This is on our server?
Yep.
Jesus.
This is where I found that diamond.
Well, we got a skeleton.
Hi. Oh, you pussy.
Too bad we can't one punch him.
What just happened? Oh, no, what just happened? I just died.
Huh.
Fail? I'll do one in creative mode now. Jesus, can people please quit talking to me?
People like you.
Saving chunks, and I just loaded a random world because I figured I'll be able to find a cave just as easily. Again, you can see we have all the slimes around. That's fantastically awesome and stuff.
We want zombies.
And I'll make an X-ray machine. Another cool little secret, in case you were not aware of it, is that X-ray machines do exist.
We probably could cut it out and find one real quick and then start it up again.
I could. Or I could do this. Okay, so I'm looking down trying to see if I can find a zombie. I just don't see one though. Which tells me that either we really mess up the zombies or we're just having really crappy luck. But I did see an abandoned mineshaft down there, and I think the reason I didn't see anything in there was because it was a bit far for anything to spawn. I'm not exactly sure.
Lovely ravine.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a big lava pool.
Yep. That's a fire. Hello, fire. Random gravel for the win. I'll show you how to get rid of gravel too.
For those gravel haters.
Haters. Haters gonna hate gravel. Don't blame me though. I was actually literally thinking about it and then I realized, you know, I do like to start fires on occasion. Let's see.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to cut this.
Yeah, probably. If we even find one. Maybe I really just screwed up the code because it knows.
No, I wouldn't change any of the spawning code in the gen.
Well, no, but sometimes if you really screw up code, something just won't jump. Sometimes. Very seldom. You have to really screw something up, though. Oh, look, Lapis.
Hmm.
I have to get used to there not being more ores to the game.
Oh yeah, with our mod pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got bored, and since we're still on Christmas break, or Christmas holiday, we made a mod pack that adds, like, what, 30? No, not really, but, like, maybe 12 new ores and ingots and, or gems and ingots and whatnot to the game.
13, to be
13?
exact.
Well, there you go. You even have a number for it.
Diamond is no longer the ultimate tool.
Yeah, diamond is actually rather useless. Why's you gotta be a skeleton? I know I've already been down here, but sometimes when you run around, it'll spawn something. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut the recording and just find one.
Yeah, cut it where like when we started looking. I don't think we said anything too important.
I don't think so either. I'm just gonna keep on recording then, and then just do video editing magic and not actually have to do anything right now. Oh, crap. I can't believe there were 0 zombies around. Even just too far for them to actually load in on my visual or on my video. What am I playing on? Far, really? Interesting.
Huh.
Normally
Usually play on normal?
I normally play on normal on my Mac. That's why I play Minecraft on my PC. Wow, this is incredibly laggy for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I kind of thought I was going to run into a cave. But... Oh, I did run into a cave.
Off by 1 block.
No, I just was ignorant, I guess. Are you a zombie? No. Just like that book, Are You My Mother? Come here.
Here. I'll be right back.
That's fine.
I can find my switch off button for the mute.
Aha. I found zombies, guys. Sorry it took so long. It just... Yeah, Dale had to leave for a second. I don't know if he's back or not.
I'm here.
Okay, cool. So I found zombies, and we've modified them. So if I one punch this guy, oh, two punch him, sorry, he drops exactly 2 of each, a feather and mossy cobblestone.
So it worked.
So it does work. I don't get why.
You should put a torch down because it's kind of dark. There you go. Now,
So you can see it only takes 2 punches, and I get their goodies. And just to show you that that was actually there, or that I actually was able to pick that up in case for some reason you have issues, I will open up from the crafting table and you can see I have 6 moss stone and 6 feathers. So now I'm just going to kind of close out of here, and we're going to work on crafting recipes now. So, if you open up craftingmanager.java, this is one of the locations of your crafting recipes. Now, this isn't all of them. This actually is maybe half of them. So, if you want to find some of the other ones that are really important, just go to recipes, and then you'll see there's recipes for armor, crafting, your dyes, your food, your ingots, and a sorter, which is just, whatever. And then you have tools and weapons. So, I'm going to actually add two different crafting recipes, actually. How do we want to do this? I guess we can do the netherrack. So,
the nether brick?
Yeah, netherrack. So in order to add a normal recipe, you have add recipe, and then parentheses new, then item stack. This is basically telling it that it's going to pop up in the other side of your crafting table. New, and then this thing. And then inside the parentheses is what it's going to give you. It'll be an item or a block. If it's just item, you do item dot whatever or block dot whatever. Keep in mind that sometimes you do have to have block ID or shifted index in certain other forms of coding, but not in this. Not forms of coding, but in certain other examples. Normally for drops. But you don't need it for this, and you won't need it for most of the stuff we'll be showing you. Then you have parentheses, and then kind of what looks complex. I'll explain it though. So we're going to do one now, and I'm going to add a comment here. Comment, in order to do one, you just type // and then insert comment here. Cement comment. And when you do this, this basically just helps you organize or add comments for other people who's viewing. It does not add any code. So I'm going to do / adding new recipes. And now we're going to type add shape this recipe, and you can copy and paste the code from above. I just prefer typing it. And this is going to give us block.netherbrick, and I happen to know how it's spelled. Oh, actually, it's not add shapeless recipe, it's add recipe. Add recipe, new item stack. And now we're going to make it so it gives us 8. So we're doing comma 8. And then outside of this first parentheses, we're going to do 2. So we're going to need 1, and then do 2 new object. And then just like a little box there, and then a squiggly bracket. And it'll automatically try to add stuff for you. Make sure you add a semicolon here. And you can see our nether brick actually kind of got what I call activated. And now, this is what a lot of people get confused by. Now what you need to start off is doing parentheses. This first set of parentheses, as you can see for most of these, there's 3 sets. This first set is the top row, so I can't really explain it without showing a grid, I guess. But there's usually, or not usually, in your crafting table, there's 3 by 3, so it looks kind of like oh wait, I can actually, another secret is you can do /*, or is it //? Yeah, it's /*, I think. There we go. So what you can do is, let's say all of these are the recipe boxes. Or the crafting boxes, or the crafting squares. Basically, all this stuff in here is the first set of parentheses. This is the second set, and this down here is the third set. So, we want it so that, and this is very simple for what we're doing because we're just filling up all of them. We want it so that it's completely filled up with netherrack, which we'll add that detail later. And I think we should put like a diamond in the center for now, just to show them how to mix and match stuff, don't you think?
Yeah.
So, if you're going to do multiple items, you need to have planned out a couple of different letters or characters. You can't really be careless with your characters. Normally you can just use like the pound symbol and then like just letters normally.
Yeah, just use whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm going to use the pound sign here. So at the top, it's going to be a block, a block, a block, or an item, item, item. And then comma space. You have to do comma space after each horizontal line. So right now, these three are being filled up with something. It's not been specified yet. Now, we're going to do another set of quotations, and then we're going to do pound, and then D, and then pound. Now, if we didn't want anything in the middle, we could just, you can't just leave it out. You have to put a space in the space of it, or in place of it. But we want
Same with
a
the sides.
diamond. What?
Same with the sides.
Exactly, same with the sides. It doesn't have to be in the middle. If we wanted it to be kind of lopsided, we could do that. So it's going to do that now. We're going to have it so that there's a D in the middle, and then right now it's looking like a helmet kind of with a D in the middle. And now to add the bottom row, we're going to do the same thing. So now it's now surrounded by this item, but we haven't specified what these items are yet. So you need to do another comma and then character dot value of. Basically what this does is it says, hey, here's the value of all these new things, or of these letters that we've added, and you specify. So you're going to do just like the kind of the apostrophe, and then we're going to do the pound sign. This is saying, okay, so for the pound sign, we're going to be using block.netherrack. Okay? If you're doing multiple blocks or items, that's cool. You just do comma, then you do character.value of, again, parentheses again, and then the other letter or letters you've used. And now we're going to do item.diamond.
And it is case sensitive.
It is case sensitive. Keep that in mind.
So don't use a lowercase d.
Exactly.
And
So,
another thing is, you know how like when we added a drop for the item and we put block ID at the end? We do not need this for the recipe.
exactly. I think I said that earlier. Where most of the times the only time you need block ID or shifted index is in mob drops.
Okay,
Most
I didn't know
of
if
the
you said that or not.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's how you add just a shaped recipe. If we want to do a shapeless recipe, which I'm going to show you, like one where you just toss two things anywhere in your inventory, you just type in kind of the same thing. You do add shapeless, or no, it's not shapeless, shapeless recipe. Then you still do the new item stack. And I'm going to do block.cobblestone mossy, and then it'll give me 4. It doesn't have to be an even number. We could do 7, just to show you. We're still going to do new object, then the square, then the squiggly. And here, instead of doing the shape with the quotations like we did earlier, we just type in item dot whatever or block dot whatever. So for block dot cobblestone is the one I want, one of these. And then item dot seeds is the one I want the other one to be. So now it just anywhere shapelessly we can put cobblestone and seeds in, and it's going to give us mossy cobblestone. Sorry if I lost you guys. I'm just not that great at explaining this because I just know it, I guess.
2 of the favorite mods we made.
Yeah. So now we're just going to run it, as you can see we have, and open up our world. And I'm going to craft some of our new items that we've just, use some of our new crafting recipes. So I'm going to give myself some diamond, and some netherrack, and some seeds, and some cobblestone. So, let's do the cobblestone one first. So you can see I got cobblestone and seeds, and it gives us 7 mossy cobblestone. Now if I put it anywhere, you can see it doesn't matter where I put it, it will kind of figure it out and say, hey, you're really asking for this. And you can see we can craft it all, and that gives us a lot of stuff. Now, we also specified a nether brick recipe that was supposed to be like this. So you can see that recipe worked out well. A diamond surrounded with netherrack gives us 8 nether brick. So we've added a recipe, we've modified existing entities and what they drop and how often they spawn. I also found diamond, which I thought was kind of funny because I found diamond before I even found a zombie. Thought that was a bit strange. what else would we really... Oh, we've done the world generation, but what else would we really want to modify? I guess we could do the stone to stone, like what a block drops if you want to have it modified.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so one of Dale's most popular and my favorite mod is a stone to stone mod, where basically it's more realistic. Instead of when you break stone, it drops cobblestone, when you break stone, it drops stone. So I'm actually going to do a couple of things. I'm going to modify block.java first of all to show you what I was going to explain later. If I find ore diamond, which is diamond ore, I'm going to show you how to make it, and apparently Dale didn't know this, but that's cool. I'm going to show you how to make it glow and how to change things. If I wanted it to glow, you just type in .set light value and then a float number. Now, float is basically just a setting for the amount. Light values cannot be anything other than 1, or higher than 1. It can be less than, but with any sort of integers or float numbers or anything, float values or anything, try not to be too specific. You don't want to do something like 0.3647. You want to do like 1 or 0.5 or even like 0.75. So I'm going to set it to 0.75. And now it's going to give me an error because I haven't added the float or the F. So we type in F, and it figures it out and says, hey, there you go, it'll light up now. If we wanted it to sound different when we try to break or walk on it, we could set this to sound metal footstep, and now it'll sound like an ore, like a diamond or metal or diamond or silver or gold block when we walk on it. Or sound, there's sound stone, there's sound, I think it's grass footstep. Yeah, sound
Ground?
grass.
Oh, okay, grass. Okay.
Yeah, I think another one is ground, I think, or dirt. No, it's not ground, so I think it's dirt.
Isn't dirt and grass the same though? Sounds.
No. I know gravel has a different sound, so I'm going to use sound gravel footstep. So that's just simple block modification. Now, if you look over here, basically if it's a simple block, like a plain old bleh block, like sandstone, it's not going to have its own file over here. It's just going to be specified here, and then basically it's done. It's also specified in other files up here in net.minecraft.client, but we're not going to go over that. But anything that drops differently or doesn't drop anything at all will be specified here in block whatever. So we're going to be looking for block stone.java, and you see it's specified right here. Public int id dropped integer I random integer j.
Kind of like the mob we did.
Exactly.
With the zombie.
Exactly. So it's going to return block.cobblestone.block ID. So now you see when it breaks it, that's why it does that. Now we can change this. I want to kind of mess with it. We change it from material.rock to material.ground. This means that now it's going to be able to be broken with our bare hands. And we're going to remove this entire line of code here, so it no longer drops cobblestone, it drops itself, it drops stone. If this isn't specified, if it's not here, it's going to know to drop itself. So I'm just going to clean that up a little, and there we go. I'm also going to add a crafting recipe here. It's going to be a shapeless recipe that allows us to turn the stone into cobblestone because we will need it. So add shapeless recipe, new item stack, block.cobblestone 1. And if I'm typing fast, I apologize. I'm just kind of used to doing this kind of stuff, so feel free to pause the video if you need to keep up. So now that that's done, we can now supposedly break it with our hands. I'm not exactly sure what sound it's going to make. I think it should still make a stone sound, even though we've specified it as a quote-unquote ground.
That might change the name of it, I think. That might.
Maybe.
Because I think the set step
sound
is different than material. I think material sets it when you punch it, and then the footstep is for footstep, obviously.
That's what I thought. So it should still make a stone footstep sound and breaking sound. It should just be like grass, so I can break it with my bare hands.
Maybe.
I think. We'll see.
We'll see.
If Minecraft crashes on us, if Minecraft crashes the second I punch this block, we'll know why. Oh, volume's off. Oh, a saving chunks issue because of my sound. Oh, it's because of think it's because of something else that I was trying to do earlier, so I can't even have sounds for that reason. Sorry about that, guys. Guess you'll have to find out yourself. I was wondering why my sound was automatically off, even though I had not told it to be. So now I can break this with my bare hands, like in the survival test.
Okay, so does it sound normal? Oh no, you can't.
I can't test the sound.
Okay, yeah, you just said that. Never mind.
Yeah, but as you see, it is now breaking stone instead of cobblestone. And let me just pick up a little bit more to show you. It works the same way. I can still craft everything like stone bricks, buttons, pressure plates, and now cobblestone. So I can get cobblestone back, and if I wanted to add a crafting recipe like Dale has in his stone to stone, where I can just craft it back to stone from cobblestone, I could do that too. I'm not going to, but just giving you some examples. So I think that's actually should be the end of the tutorial on just vanilla files. Next tutorial we'll show you how to add new mobs, because I've shown you now how to modify existing ones. I will be running a cleanup, so all of these mods that I've messed around with here will be gone. So keep that in mind. And I just want to kill this guy by hand and show you that they are.
So we're using ModLoader next, right?
Yes, we're going to be using ModLoader next because I don't think there's any point in showing people how to make a block with ModLoader or without ModLoader, because it's the same way, it just won't have a name. So I'll be sure to specify that here's the part that you'll be missing out on if you don't use ModLoader. You know?
Yeah.
But if you go to like I was saying earlier, like if it was just a normal block, if any block is a normal block and drops itself, it's not going to have a block item or like a block whatever .java. Well, different blocks do, so that's a great place to start modifying it. Like glass panes, if you want them to drop themselves again, just remove the part or just change it. I think it says like item ID dropped, so you actually have to go out and find the ID of it, because right now it's set to 0. If you do happen to do that exact example, the item ID for glass pane is 102. But you can also change it so the glass drops glass instead of just breaking and disappearing for the rest of its lifetime. And stuff like that. So yeah, feel free to have fun with that. And if you're new to modding, I hope this is very useful. Or not very useful, but at least helps you out and helps you kind of grasp what the differences are. If there's anything that you need a little more detail on, or just kind of had an error with or whatnot, feel free to leave it in the comments, and if another viewer can't help you, I'll be sure to do my best. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.